dog in your life is thinking? Well, join me, Liz Murdoch, animal communicator, talking with the dogs and finding out what dogs want people in their lives to know and understand. I've spent my life talking and listening to animals. So if you consider yourself a dog person or just happen to have a dog, I'm here to help you learn how to talk or listen to the dogs in your life. I chat with people too, sharing stories and tips on exactly how animal communication or being a dog whisperer makes an impact at home or when working with the dogs. So welcome to Talking with the Dogs podcast, a place where we uncover exactly what dogs want us to know and celebrate that every dog has a story. This episode is brought to you by Noble Pet Foods. No nonsense, no bull. Go to noblefoods.com, use promo code DOGTALK15, and they'll deliver dog food to your house with Noble. Welcome back to Talking with the Dogs. I'm Liz Murdoch, and I am here with Tori Mistick, who many of you may know if you are a dog mom and would like to have the ideal job. I know I love what I do, talking to dogs. But Tori, before many of us, started her business helping people. Well, you started a blog and a podcast, and then it evolved into merchandising. And then it's like, well, how did you do that? So then it evolved into educating people how to have a pet business. And it's sort of, I was thinking about you did this way before the pandemic. And so is it like for you, is like what pandemic? Because it's business as usual.
Well, I mean, I was definitely affected emotionally by the pandemic. But when it first started and everyone was, oh, I've got to work from home. I got to figure out what to do with my dog. And, I never get to see people. I'm like, welcome to my life. Because I've been working from home for like 12 years. And I started my blog about 8 years ago. So I've just always worked from home, and I like being on my own and being with my dogs and being around them all the time and having the flexibility to go walk them whenever I feel like it. And it's perfect for us.
And you have with you today, Lucy, who
is kind of snoring. You can probably hear.
Well, that's fine. So as an animal communicator, it's fine whether a dog appears to be asleep, is even on the Zoom call. We can work with pictures. Sometimes we don't even need a picture.
Yeah, but kind of just like nudge her a little bit so that she's just knows that we're here to talk about her.
So I will introduce myself. So you're Tori Mistick of Wear, Wag, Repeat. I just want people to know that in case they are like, okay, I want to hear about the dog stuff, but wait a minute, I want to have a job where I work with my dogs and all of that. We will include that too. But yes, she's Wear, Wag, Repeat. It is possible to stay home and work with your dogs. And she has a podcast too. And we met and I talked to Burt, her other dog. So she has 2 chocolate labs that have their own personalities. And Burt made it clear in our session that he is a big part of Tori's business.
Yes. He actually said that it's really him. Like, I am out here. I'm the voice of it, but he's really running the show.
He is running the show, but he has graciously agreed to, well, reluctantly, he says, to share the stage with Miss Lucy, who in our session, she did make an appearance and let it be known that she has her own work that she does. And so we are giving her the stage because, again, a lot of people think that their dogs, he could be a therapy dog or she could do this. And so another aspect of Tori's life with her 2 dogs is the work that she does with Lucy. And so we're going to get into that.
We love Lucy is a certified therapy dog and we love that work. But unfortunately, that's one of the things with the pandemic that I was affected by that did change because we haven't been able to volunteer since then. So
All right. Well, so we will get straight to Lucy. Lucy's like, I thought this was about me. So we are going to do that. And I do on the podcast interview a lot of people that dogs would want people to know about. But right now we want people to know about Lucy and her very important work as a therapy dog, what she thinks. I know we're finally getting to it. Yeah. She perked up there. So she does say, I get information. And I hear her actually that she misses it terribly. And she misses oh my gosh. So Lucy misses the one-on-one outings with just you, where she knows she's special, because when you go out, Burt attracts a lot of attention. And Lucy's essence is to hold back. Oh, wow. And this is what makes her so, for those of you who, some of you might be interested in Tori's work with Wear, Wag, Repeat, that with building a business, but the therapy dog people who, if you're listening and you're thinking, wow, I have a nice dog that would be a good therapy dog. I mean, there are nice dogs that are just too rambunctious that aren't a good fit, but Tori's dog, Lucy, is sharing with me that one of the attributes about her that makes her such a great therapy dog is her personality, her essence, that she will hold back. Because if she was demanding, she's like, if I was a diva, then I would detract from the kids that I work with or the people that come to me that need to connect with me, because everyone would be oohing and awing about me. And sometimes, wow, I want to take a breath. It's just very tender. Sometimes the people that need the benefit, the magic of a therapy dog, are people that would back away from going up and, oh, can I pet your dog? That because there's other people like me that, oh, can I pet your dog? Oh, that, I want to, but people who really need reassurance or the many benefits need a dog that just can silently come up to them and make the introduction. And Lucy's like, I'm really good at that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. When we volunteer, we actually go to it's called the Veterans Center, but it's like a nursing home for vets. And most of the people are 80 and above and in wheelchairs and kind of don't really want to engage, but right. We'll just go and we'll just sit in the room where they're watching TV, and Lucy will just kind of sit in there near them and with them. And you slowly see them kind of like looking at her and warming up very slowly. But like, I think they just like having her just like sitting at their feet. She doesn't have to be in your face all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's like, that's an important thing for listeners to know, that some therapy dogs, the work that they do is just being there. Like when we have a friend and, can you just sit with me? Can you just be with me? That's what she does. And it's like, I see glitter coming off of her, that her being in the room changes the energy. Do you notice that when she walks in?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously people get excited to see the dog. Yeah. And we do miss going there so much, but since a lot of the people there aren't very mobile, you just kind of got to sit and hang out, and they just like that.
So Lucy, I feel like she's saying, tell them about a book. Do you sometimes read with her? Have you done something? Because I see a yellow book. Okay, Lucy, what is this? I'm getting an image of a Curious George-like book that Lucy is showing. And it's like, she wants to talk about. So Lucy, do you know about people who read about books? Have you and Tori ever read a book together? She says, okay, so I'm getting a no. Well, okay, I'm going to come back to this, Lucy, of why I'm getting a book, but there's something a book, and maybe, who knows, with Tori Mistick, because she has products and all different things in development for.
You're not spoiling anything. I'm not really sure what she's talking about.
Okay. So then maybe she's planting a seed, but she wants you to know about a book. And often in a session, we will ask the dog at the end. I always say, what do you want your person to know? And she's letting you know right now something about a book that's like a Curious George book. So
well, it's funny because there's a yellow book right in front of me right this second on the bookcase, but it's like a novel. Okay. But I do have, I have two nephews who are 3 and 5. And we have read Curious George, and I don't know if Lucy is around.
Well, think about that. Often, again, for animal communicators or people interested in dog talk, sometimes what I say, what I get at least at the beginning of a chat, will then make sense later. So now she said no about the book, and then she said there's yellow, and then she's got these nephews, and I have read Curious George. So Lucy definitely has an opinion, and I'm going to stand by that and just invite you to remember that, and we'll see where this conversation goes. But that is something she wants you to know about, is this book. So Lucy, what else? You love your therapy work. She likes not just the outing to when you're there working, but the procedure to get there. And I had a therapy dog. We did assisted therapy, and there is a protocol. Why don't you tell people what is involved from where you're sitting on your couch to actually getting ready and going and doing that? Because she likes that whole process.
Well, I mean, we spent a year going to group training classes with our friends. And the trainer who we worked with is a trainer that Lucy knows from when she was 6 months old. And she loves him. His name is Burt. And Burt is probably one of her favorite people. And so that was really, really fun. But then once we were certified and everything, we took the test, stressful. But then once we were ready and signed up and were able to go places, I had asked our trainer, Brett, is there some kind of routine that we can do so that I can signal to Lucy that this is what's happening? So we actually have a special bandana and collar and leash that is only used for therapy dog visits. And so she gets to put on her special outfit, and she knows what we're doing, right. and it's really close by, but I'll also kind of clean her up and brush her and wipe her down and get her presentable.
No, a lot of people require that. Depending on the facility where you're going, the dogs have to be bathed within 24 hours.
Yeah. Luckily, we don't go to a hospital, so it's not as strict, but people are petting her. You don't want hair flying everywhere. So
yeah. Well, she likes it all. She says she loves it all. And as you know, I like to talk about favorite things, and she loves the whole process. And when you pull out the gear that she likes, and is there you mentioned a test, if someone wants to do this, how do you currently take the test?
Well, I'm not sure with COVID, but I'm sure it's probably the same. So there are a couple of different governing, certifying organizations for therapy dogs. There's a handful of them. So you can choose what works for you, and maybe some of them have trainings and certification tests in your area, and others don't. So that might be how you decide. But they're all going to be very similar. And the test is basically, make sure that if someone walks up and shakes your hand and greets you, your dog doesn't jump on them, which is a basic thing you learn in obedience class. But my best tip for taking this test is that, remember, the test is for your dog. It's not for you. And so it's for your dog's behavior and that kind of stuff, and how they react to things. You can actually do whatever you want during the test. So our hardest thing was they put a bowl of treats on the floor and we had to walk past it. And Lucy is a Labrador and eats everything in sight. And that was really, really hard for us. And so Leave It wasn't really working. And so I used the word look, because that she looks up and makes eye contact with me. And that's how we passed that part of the test, because it doesn't matter what you say. You could say grandma's house, squirrel, car. You could say whatever word you want to get your dog's attention off of those treats on the floor. So that's my number one tip.
That is a great tip. And that goes for dog training, because I know a lot of people who listen, dog training is that it doesn't really matter what the word is at all. It matters that you and your dog know, and that there's people in your home who either live there or visiting, that you let people know I call them house rules. Yeah. And you can make them up. Exactly. So that's good. Thank you. So Lucy, yes, back to you. let's talk about more of your favorite things, but you loved the training work. You were a star student. And she said, oh, this is a good thing to know. And it is true that not all dogs, even though she calls them wannabes, and a lot of people think their dogs are going to be really good therapy dogs. And Lucy is quick to say, not all dogs, let's just remind people, are best suited for that. And there are different kinds, like as you said, hospitals or even schools, that the certification places will tell you where you're a good fit. And Lucy's like, respect that, because it's more work. It's harder than it seems. And yeah, not all dogs are meant to be therapy dogs, but then she's so lovely. She's like Burt, for instance. Burt's good at other things.
Well, I might have planted that in her head, because I'm always saying, we just remade a video the other day about jobs that Burt couldn't do.
Oh.
And one of them was therapy dog.
Oh, how funny. Have you posted? I didn't see it.
Yeah.
You did? Oh, wow. Oh, how funny. So when somebody has two dogs, they can be very different. Or if you had one dog at one point in your life, and then you get another dog, and like me, I had a therapy dog, and it's like, now I have 3 other dogs. None of them are therapy dogs, but that we have to respect the personality of our dogs. And so you have done that clearly. And Lucy, you are a great therapy dog. And yes, Burt is suited for other things. And that's one of her favorite things about living with you is how you're good at category. Probably why you're good with the business. You're good at knowing what is good here. This goes here, this goes here, and she loves that because it's very clear for her. And she said that Burt is better. She's bringing Burt in because Burt is the kind of dog that likes not chaos, but he clutter and all different things. And, oh, what's that? And I want to go check that out, and being into everything and knowing everything. Lucy says she gets overwhelmed. That it's like too much information for her, and that she likes it like, oh, do you want to sniff this? You want to see this? She likes holding back and then coming up to assess. Have you noticed that about her?
Yeah, that's very interesting, because Burt is such a sniffy dog, and having him and encouraging his sniffing has kind of brought up like the contrast of how Lucy's not really like that. Like,
it's too much for her. Yeah. And it's almost like there's the sniffing, but then there's what else is going on in the room. She likes it very focused.
Mm-hmm. And I like that too.
Yeah.
Probably why.
Well, yeah, but she says you like it, but you can handle the other more than she can. So so that's a favorite thing about how your house is run, that you have it organized so it's safe for her, but you can give him, she calls him the big guy. Does anyone call him the big guy?
Well, he just is. I mean, that makes sense.
She calls him bigger. The big guy, that the big guy can deal with all of that. Like we talked before, I know you get boxes of delivery sometimes, and Burt had talked about how he likes all that to see what's going on. And she's like, her favorite part is like later when she can go and see how you have it situated. It's like, oh, what's that changed? So that's something else. Okay. So you had mentioned when we first were talking about doing this, that you wanted to know about her people and the people in her life and her favorite people. And she's very diplomatic. So I can't see who they are yet, but there's a couple, there's like 3 people.
She has a few favorite people. So I was just wondering. Yeah.
No, she does. And she says they too are different. Like I see, maybe it's Brett. I can't see his face. I see this, does he have long legs that, I
think that might be somebody else. I'll let you keep talking.
Okay. But. She likes this person. And then there's a woman too. And then there's like 2 other people. So she's got like 2 people, 1 person, and then another person. And I'm going to ask her to describe them. And it's happened before on a podcast where a dog described a person just from like the khaki pants, like from the knees down, because that's what the dog is. So
what they see.
Yes. So
when you're saying long legs, that could be like anyone, because to a dog, all legs are long.
Okay. So no, they're not actually.
Okay.
So how would I describe them? How would you describe long legs? If I was drawing them, they would be like a tree trunk, but not skinny. Someone, you're going to figure out this person at some point. They're like skinny tree trunk legs. I don't know. I just see this picture, but it's, they don't feel like short legs. They just feel like, okay, if I was to say, well, this person has long legs and it's a man in dark pants. Okay. So that's what I see. And I guess I see dark hair, but I don't see the face. So I'm going to keep going and about the energy of what she
Lucy
likes.
Might have a secret relationship.
Okay. Well, sometimes when this has come up and I, especially like with walks, people will say, oh, that's a couple years ago, because dog time can blur. Mm-hmm. So if there was a person in your life who came, and I don't know if it's a delivery person because the person's not holding anything, who was a regular in her life that was a while ago, maybe that's it, because it happens with walks. I'll describe something and they'll say, oh, we haven't been there for a while, a couple of years, and they will describe that. So anyway, she had, okay. So
that's what I'm thinking. There is a man who I would think is one of Lucy's favorite people.
I just heard that gave me treats.
Who gives her lots of treats. He's very tall. He has very long legs, but he's usually wearing shorts. And so that's what threw me off, but he's one of her favorite people.
Can you ever see him in dark black pants? Anyway.
Maybe. Yeah. Like workout pants and maybe like I probably have seen him in like a long sleeve white shirt and like long black workout pants.
He gives her treats.
Yeah. That's what he's known for.
Yeah. So that's this first person that came up. And then there's another woman who has a laugh, who is fun. And it's like, oh gosh. So Lucy definitely has her work mode kind of thing when she's working. And she's sort of like that with this man, but with this woman, she's not. It's like, she's freer. It's like, oh, and she starts moving differently and her backside wiggles in a special way. You're nodding. Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly who this is. This is our friend Marion for sure.
And it's like the leash has been taken off.
Yes.
It's like and it's like a hug, and they have a very special bond that you're not jealous of. It's like family reunion. It's like when a family member comes over and someone runs up first to give the hug and then you wait your turn. It's like Lucy. Oh, because they have a one-on-one relationship. They have what's her name?
Marion
and Lucy have a special relationship that makes Lucy feel extra special. The way that she treats Lucy, it's not like Lucy and Burt or Burt first. She makes her feel very special.
She knew Lucy first. We've known Marion for a long time. So she knew her before we even got Burt. And then she stays at my house with the dog sometimes when I travel.
Oh, how interesting. Yeah. Because it's like, I feel her sitting and she goes, like this and like invites Lucy to sit with her.
Yeah.
She does.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I see that. It's like their time. It's like grandma loves me best kind of thing is how she makes Lucy feel. I mean, I feel better already. I feel like, yeah, they have a really special bond, but then it's like, there's these other people that know them together. And it's like two people, it's like a group. And so you asked about who are her favorite people. So those two have their individual relationships with Lucy. She has an established relationship. And that's like, I should say, they're over here kind of thing. And then there's this gang of people that she loves that provide community. And I see two particular people, but there's more. She calls them the ringleaders. Like whether you make plans to get together with these people or they come over, but it's definitely a group kind of a feeling. And there's two louder voices in that group.
Do you think it's friends and not family?
Okay. Are they friends or family? Oh, she's funny. She says, well, they're like family. So are they related? Do they, no, they're friends because family is over is it Marion?
Marion. Yeah.
Family's on the Marion side.
Okay. That makes sense.
Families in I guess she divides them because okay. remember I talked about how she likes things categorized?
Yeah.
So a family she loves dearly. Oh, but she says, I could never say who I like better. She would never do that. Your family's not like that. She's not like that. So she says they're like Marion. So when you were asking who my favorite people are, she's not going to say this. She's talking about these people.
Yeah. Maybe these other people are some of our dog friends.
They're your dog friends.
Yeah.
They're like it's like a pack feeling, but there's like two of them that are in charge, or who, I don't know whether they set things up, but they have more prominent personalities or something as individuals, because people can be associated. And she's showing me this. It's like Liz and her dogs. Like people might think of Tori and her dogs. And so there are some people who she doesn't differentiate between them, but of your dog friends, there's two of them that she knows as individuals a little bit better.
It's gotta be Shannon and Layla, who you've interviewed or talked to.
I have talked to
Shannon.
And
our other lab friend, Andrea, and her dog, Lucy. The three of us have spent a lot of time together in the pandemic, hiking all together and doing things together.
So she wants to say she likes all of them, but those two, she has a different relationship as people with them. And that's why she's saying that. She's very diplomatic and she doesn't want this is the therapy girl in her. She wants everyone to feel included, that your dog friends back here are good, but she knows these two, Shannon.
I could see them standing out as like the two that she might know best.
Yes. She definitely, because they're
not her favorite, but that she knows them the best.
She knows them the best. And they stand out from this group. Like they represent the group. Like I can hear like Shannon's voice. It's like, it triggers that, like, we're all here kind of thing. Yeah. And that is fun in a moving kind of way. So as an animal communicator, I feel things in my body sometimes. And with this group over here, they're her favorite people because they bring to her moving her body in an energy exchange of play. It's not just play though. It's serious movement. Like an exercise class is fun. She loves that. Whereas with the treat guy, she loves the treats, but he has a certain personality that she really likes. He gets me, is like what she says. He gets her, the way he talks to her, and he tunes in a little bit. He understands her. She likes that mental connection that she has with him, that when she's with Shannon and friends, they have fun. It's about energy, like people. We can work out with our friends, but Lucy has a mind-heart connection with Mr. Treat Guy.
Oh,
they understand each other. He would laugh and go, "Yeah, we get each other."
Yeah,
I like that. And he'd sort of scratch her, and then he has to go.
She has heard his voice from like the other side of the park, like when we're on the trails and stuff. He'll be up on the higher up trail. So in order to get there, you have to go all the way around. Well, Lucy has heard him up there before, and she beelines through the woods to get up there. It takes me like 20 minutes to walk around, and they're just up there hanging out.
Yeah, that's funny. And it's interesting that in the beginning, you weren't sure who it was.
I was picturing like a dressier outfit. And I was like, maybe my dad, because he's always dressed up, but he's short. So it couldn't be him.
No, it's long legs. I'm glad you figured it out. But I want to be, the teacher in me is that this shows how sometimes even when we're trying to understand our own dogs, as someone's practicing this on their own and they're like, well, all I got was this tall man, I don't know who this is that as we let it sit and we sort of like, okay, I don't know, and we let it just come to us, things become clear. So I just wanted to,
because how Lucy sees it, like you were saying, a white button down shirt, maybe that's how she sees it, but that's not how I see it. You know what I mean? I see like more athletic shirt. But
right. And I'm translating it. And I was like, it's a white long sleeve shirt. It's like buttoned down. And then I did go, well, maybe it's just a pullover.
Yeah.
And so again, when we're translate like our dreams, it's like a puzzle piece that we're experimenting with. So anyway, I'm glad you got that sorted out. So we're going to go back to family in case your family decides to listen, that what she has to say about family. And I love you all. What she loves about her family is the different things they do. And it's very heartfelt. She says they embrace it. She says, even when we smell, I don't know whether it's your dad. I feel like maybe he plays around like, oh, they smell, they joke. The jokes about the dogs, they like all of that. They like the camaraderie of like the inner circle. Like you have a big circle I can feel. And, I know you from your work a bit. I've taken one of your classes, which I do recommend for people who are still dreaming about their dog business. Tori can make it possible, help you make it possible. But they know about your circle and your audience kind of thing, but your family brings it in close. And it's like a protective cocoon that they know about. And Lucy says they're protective of you. Wow. That's like, Lucy knows that. Lucy's job is to, so this is what she wants people to know about dogs, is that our dogs can be our soulmates and can protect us. And she does her therapy work where she can touch people in a special way. But she says, don't forget the people, that people can help us. And Tori has some people in her life, in her family. It's like a blue velvet lining around a shell, inside of a shell that lines a shell. And she's just showing me, it's like this feeling. And like, I got the button down shirt was not really accurate, but the white shirt was. I'm going to use this as a metaphor for Tori to explore, and she can respond whether publicly or personally, however she wants. But the image that I'm getting, that Lucy is showing when she asks about your family, that she loves about your family, is like, it's like the blue velvet sort of lining that we might be on a photograph in a photo album or something, that your family is special because they line like a walnut shell inside for you and give you this cushion. And she just loves that. And I can smell, I don't know if you have nuts or walnuts, but
I have a black walnut tree in my backyard.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah. The metaphors that I get with these dogs are often tied to something in the person's life. And so she's showing that, but your family is like the lining inside of a walnut, like this blue velvet kind of film that they protect you, so that somebody, it's not that I don't know anything about Tori's personal life and that she needs protection, but when this is what she's sharing as a therapy dog for listeners, is that when you're starting a business or in our lives, that we can't look at our dogs to be, I live with 3 dogs and they've been great companions. So I'm a huge advocate of dogs, but Lucy doesn't want people to underestimate the gifts of letting people into our lives to support us. Like Tori's a business coach and has helped a lot of people go from, I want to do this. I think I have an idea. I took a class on products. So you can have an idea. I want to make t-shirts. I want to make mugs. But when you work with someone, whether it's a coach who can say, well, if you're going to do that, this is what I learned and this is going to make it better. And people are suddenly selling their t-shirts way better than they thought. Lucy is saying that Tori is able to do this, not just because she's taken classes and studied, but because she has people in her life. And some of them are family members that are like this lining that are doing that for her. And that's what Lucy wants to know when your family says, well, did they say anything about us? She's like, yeah, some of you are doing a really good job doing that part. And some of them, she likes the laughter that they bring into your life.
Yeah. Oh, that's very sweet.
Mm-hmm. So sometimes in animal communication, this is for Tori and for anyone listening, trying to make sense of this, is that it's like a puzzle piece to figure it out and piece together. And whether you work with me as your animal communicator or you work with someone else, go back and ask questions. And because the animals want to be understood. And if there's a person out there who's like, I hate when people when I don't say it right, or I'm not being understood. Animals feel the same way. So if you've explored animal communication and something doesn't make sense, I invite you to keep going deeper or ask your animal communicator, can you help me understand this better? I don't really know, because the animals want to be understood and have messages. So what else, Tori? Memories. You asked about, does she have memories, experiences?
Yeah. Cause so much of my life, like the whole kind of basis of my blog and everything, is the importance of creating memories with your dogs, because they're not here long enough. And so I try to do really fun things with them, memorable things as often as possible. And I was just wondering if Lucy had any or not favorites, because that's hard, but anything that sticks out.
Okay. So I drew a picture. There's an image of her. I feel like it's a photograph of her leaping. Like, I don't know whether she was crossing water. It's a different thing. What she likes, it's definitely like on a hike or something, where her legs were, whether she was, I don't know if you took a picture mid-air of her, but it's unlike typical Lucy. And do you know what this is? It's like her front legs are out in front of her and her back legs are behind her. It's like mid-air.
Well, I think that one of her favorite things is dock diving, like jumping off of a dock into the water. Yeah. Is definitely one of her favorite things to do.
I mean, you can see these are like the back legs and these are the front legs. Yeah. This is my drawing. That unpredictable that's like a favorite thing. But she also, above that, I wrote photographs. And I think to encourage, and maybe you do this, I haven't read all your blogs, but taking those, we take pictures a lot of our dogs, oh, cute. But she's like the different pictures. And when your dogs are doing the different things, she goes, get those too. Do you have pictures of her dock diving?
I don't know if I have any good ones. Now I'm going to have to, because she's telling me to make sure to get some good photos of her doing that. It's funny because I've thought, because so many photos that we take, and I think that a lot of people take, are, you get your dog to sit and pose and do something. I always have wanted someone to come out with us when we're in the woods and in the water, and to help me document that, because it's hard to do it yourself, because you gotta like wrangle them. So yeah, that's something I want.
Yeah, because she's saying there aren't enough and more. I wrote that down.
There aren't enough photos, Lucy. I mean, we have so many photos.
And maybe this is a blog post too, or just a tip of the day for anyone, is take the pictures that aren't the pose pictures, or the oh so cute pictures. Take them when you're just walking down the street. Take them when you're cooking dinner and you just look down. Just take the candids. And Instagram and the whole influencing world has gotten us into these pose shots. And yeah, they're funny and they're entertaining, and I love a lot of them. But those random shots, and I thought about getting a GoPro. Do you have one of those?
We've had one before. Like, I was actually hired by a website to create some like dog friendly guides we did like 3 different cities actually. And Lucy was a star of that. And so they sent us a GoPro, and I was like, oh, can you send us a harness to put on her for it as well? And they're like, no, we're not going to do that. And I was like, well, I'm going to order it for myself anyhow, because I want that footage. Well, the footage was like really unusable because the way Lucy walks, all the footage was like, it was like very wobbly. So,
well, there is a photographer, I think in Colorado, who takes these dogs on these incredible hikes. I will find it and share it, and takes these phenomenal pictures of like, this is not just a pack walk down the street. I live in LA. These dogs are in the water and they're fabulous. More pictures. You asked this question. Favorite memories. She's got a lot of them, but she's like, take more pictures of them. She loves when her legs are like her front legs and back legs. So that's the dock diving.
When she's leaping into the water. Yeah.
The leaping. And she likes nature smells. So, we talked about when the boxes come, and Burt likes them. And, when I was getting the walnut image from her, and then you said you had a walnut tree, she likes the outdoor nature smells.
She actually goes because Burt, likes you, because you've talked to him before. He likes to just be like touching me all the time. And so at night, we'll sit on the couch together and watch TV. And Lucy will go by herself and sit outside underneath that tree and just like watch the world in the darkness. I don't know.
She likes the smell of the walnut tree too. She likes,
it has a smell for sure.
I don't know what it smells.
Yeah.
That was a hearing kind of thing that I like to smell and mix with knowing that walnut tree is very special, and the smell of the walnuts and the leaves. And she's like, it smells differently during the year.
It does. It does.
Yeah. She likes that. So you asked favorite memories we're going back to are the different smells outside. And when you take her to different walks, some dogs like different locations because of the trail or the people. She likes the different smells, but not in a necessarily sniffing down hunting way.
Yeah. She doesn't really do that. Yeah.
No, she's smelling them just as she walks through it.
Yeah.
And that she says, that's enough for me.
Oh.
She likes this different smells. Like there's a citrusy sunshine smell that she likes. I guess it's like summer water. It's a sunshine smell. She says,
yeah.
The sun. Do you know about a sunshine smell? I never thought of a sunshine smell.
Well, I can think of, there's a park really close to us that we go to all the time. And like, I just have a mental picture of it at, either early in the morning or at sunset. And like, there's a fountain up there and she will run up and jump in the fountain. And when she runs back from the fountain through the grass, the sun is like hitting all the water. Like that mental picture to me smells like sunshine, if that makes sense.
It does. And I like how you're open to piecing together. And so I'm feeling like, okay, so I want to go back to somebody who might say, yeah, they're just making up words and piecing it. So I'm going to say, okay, Lucy, tell me about the walnut smell. Tell me some more. Different times of day. It smells different when it's wet, even on the same day, it can smell different for the nighttime. And now she's like, okay, fine. I'm going to tell you about these smells. So there's the sunshine smell. There's the walnut smell, different time of year, different time of day. She's aware of that. And she's letting people know dogs don't want to just smell down, which I always thought was pretty much they like they're hunting for the smell and to find where the smell came from or get information.
That's how Burt is. Burt's like, if you look up a video of like a police dog, like that's how Burt is, like working his radius.
I would think most dogs are like that, but Lucy's like, no, she likes to walk through the smell. And sometimes they're up. Because when you're outside, this is the image. If there's a food cart, a dog is not smelling down, they're smelling up.
Mm-hmm.
And she likes to smell she likes smells that are airborne smells. That's bottom line. So that's something for people to be aware of, that there are also airborne smells, and dogs like that, like when they have their head out the window. Mm-hmm. She would be a dog that likes that more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any other questions?
No, I think this was so interesting and definitely accurate. I mean, for anyone who's listening, just the way that you described like Marion as someone with a laugh, who lets them kind of be off leash and be free and a little wild. That is just exactly who that is.
So it's funny. I said to you, do you have any more questions? And I will ask that question towards an end of a chat session.
Oh, maybe you weren't asking me. Maybe you were asking Lucy.
No. I was asking you, but my dogs all got up. They've been quietly sleeping, but they know that we're winding down. So I've got two dogs staring at me, wagging their tails like she's about to finish, because they get a treat, of course. Okay, so I'm good. I always like to make sure. Lucy, I'm going to ask you what you want Tori to know. Anything. Lucy's like, I've said a lot. I know, Lucy, but we are giving you the opportunity to say more.
Well, that's very her personality. I feel like when Lucy's like, okay, I've had enough of this, like I'm no longer doing this.
Yeah. And dogs do get tired and done. So I just want to say, Lucy, we're wrapping up a podcast where you are our main guest. So, she says, thank you. I've never had a dog say thank you. But she's saying thank you for listening to me, and thank you to Tori for listening to me.
I told her before we started this, like a half an hour before, I said, gather your thoughts because you're going to talk to Liz. And I said, do you remember that Burt talked to Liz? And now it's your turn. So, and she was like making eye contact. She understood.
She says, thank you. I mean, I have talked to thousands of dogs, probably in the last year and a half, at least. And she's the first one who said, thank you.
Huh.
Yeah. That's interesting. And it's not that any of dogs are rude. It's not at all. It's just, she's very gracious. She's very lovely. And she is thankful that we took the time to stop and listen to me. She says, listen to me.
Aww.
And it's really not even for you. It's for all of us, really, that listen to what we have to say. Listen to what we have to say. And it is sometimes different. Tori and I both learned that dogs don't just want to sniff what's on the ground. They like airborne smells.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Lucy, you can reach out anytime if you want to have something else for Tori. You can give her a nudge and she can message me like everybody to clarify anything that is important. But I just want to thank you, Tori, for making time in your day to talk with me.
Of course. This is like the highlight of my week. So this was fun.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fun finding out what our dogs want us to know. And I will say on behalf of many people, how you have helped all of us, encouraging us to follow our passions in working to both support dog moms, dog entrepreneurs, have the businesses that we want. I know somebody who specifically quit her job because she was not happy with the lifestyle and leaving her dog for hours.
Yeah.
And support from people like you has made such a difference. So thank you for all you are doing with Wear, Wag, Repeat. I will post the many ways. Do you find that there's the many ways to get in touch with Tori?
Yes, many.
Is there one that you find that people use the most that we should tell them to keep it simple? Or
yeah. So I'm on Instagram a lot, and I have two different accounts there. One is Tori Mistick, because my name's Tori Mistick, and that's where I do most of the blog stuff, dog stuff, us stuff, travel stuff, all that lifestyle. And then my other account, Wear, Wag, Repeat, is the podcast and the business coaching kind of stuff. And so anyone who is interested, you can follow me there and you can DM me. I'm like very open and happy to give some advice and point you in the right direction or do whatever it is, or just even cheer you on. I had someone message me the other day. She's like, I just wanted to send you a note telling you I applied to be a speaker at this dog event and I got accepted, and I just wanted to tell you because I'm so excited. And I was like, well, I'm excited for you. I mean, I had like nothing to do with it, but I'm like, I'm so happy for you. So I love getting all kinds of messages.
Yeah, that's nice, because it is possible to stay home with your dog and create a business. We all need each other. I mean, my whole thing is building connection with people and their dogs, and whatever anyone else's gift is. Just like Lucy and Burt, we can be the same, but we can also have our own special gifts and way we contribute to the world. So on that note, we are going to wrap up. Thank you everyone for joining us. Tune in next week on Talking with the Dogs. You never knew who might be here. And go ahead and talk to your dog. If you want to reach out to me, you know where to find me. Talking with the Dogs on Instagram is everyone's favorite, and that's fine. But go out and talk with your dog. Ready to find out what your dog wants you to know? Visit talkingwiththedogs.com, book an appointment with me, and we'll find out.
Thanks for tuning in to Talking with the Dogs. Hope today's episode made you want to understand your own dog better and appreciate that every dog has a story and something to say. Subscribe now for more dog stories and insights into animal communication and what it's like to be a dog whisperer. Review this episode on Apple Podcasts or follow Talking with the Dogs on Instagram or Facebook and sign up for a chance for you and your dog to be a guest on the show. Whatever you do, I hope you'll spend time talking with the dogs.